Chapter 2, we talk about demand and supply. Okay. Demand definition, right? It can be defined as willingness and ability of consumers to purchase, okay, different quantity of one good at different prices, right? This is demand. And then we have quantity demanded. Quantity demanded, the only thing you need to add is actually just amount. And amount, okay, is only one amount. An amount of one good that consumers are willing and able to purchase at one price, right? Then we talk about the diagram. This is the P and Q, and this is the P and Q as well, but the diagram is different. Movement along and shift, right? QD refers to movement along. This is where it can be price of the good itself increase or decrease, leading to, if the price of the good itself, it will lead to QD decrease to QD1. Okay, if the price decrease, it will lead to quantity demanded movement along, right? And this is in contrast with the shift. The shift will be demand shift to the right and demand shift to the left, right? Okay. So the next thing we do together is the determinants or determinant, right? For movement along the curve, the only determinant is the price of the good itself, right? And for shift is price of substitutes and price of complements. If you're wondering, will this come out again? The chances are very high. Okay. You decide yourself. The chances is very high. For price of substitutes and price of complements, what you need to do for substitutes and complements, as usual, you need to draw two diagrams, right? One showing the movement along, one showing the shift. Other than the price of substitutes and complements, we also talk about income. Income, we use Y to represent in micro, in macro. Macro, we use capital Y, right? Income shows three different types of relationships to three different types of goods, right? It shows normal good, where income increase, the demand will decrease. It shows inferior good, where income increase, income increase, demand increase for the first one. Inferior good, income decrease, demand decrease. And the last one, necessity, where income increase, demand remain constant. Other than income, we have many others determinants that affect the demand, right? For example, taste and preferences, right? Taste and preferences. We also have population. Right? We also have advertisement. We also have weather. Weather includes, other than climate, also includes seasons and festival. And it includes expectation of the future price, right? If you're wondering this will count or not, chances are also very high. Okay, next one. After we cover the quantity demanded and demand, we cover the utils or utility. There are two approaches. One is ordinal, another one is cardinal. All right, ordinal in order, cardinal in cardinal numbers. Ordinal, modern approach. Cardinal, traditional approach. All right. And we have the law of diminishing marginal utility. It is different from, ladies and gentlemen, law of diminishing marginal utility is different from law of diminishing marginal returns. Right? Okay, take note. This one is for consumers. This one we learn in chapter 2. This one is DMR. This one we learn in chapter 4 under production. Right? If you ask me which one will come up more often, DMR will come up more often than DMU, right? But still go through. DMU states that when we want to consume the same good and play, let's say we play games, right? Or maybe someone want to slap my buttocks, right? Initially, you will get very excited to slap a lecturer buttocks. But after you slap or whatever, touch the lecturer buttock for many times, your dissatisfaction will come, right? Eventually. So what we do in the DMU is this is the TU, right? And you need to draw the maximum. I saw some of you never draw the total line to show where is the maximum. Then I don't know where is the maximum. And you need to draw MU. MU is different from MP, ladies and gentlemen. MU is different from MP, marginal product. For MU, it always declines. For MP, marginal product in chapter 4, it will go up a little bit, then only it declines. Does it make sense? Okay, so the concept is a little bit different. So please don't draw wrongly. This one will slowly decline starting from the first unit itself, right? How to write? You can say, oh, initially, I am so excited to attend Mr. Nathan's lecture. But after few lecture, I started to become absent. I don't attend the classes. I become MC. Then I get double parking issues. Blah blah blah. All this will lead to my satisfaction getting lower and lower for every class until the last class. I decided not to come because it will lead to dissatisfaction. This is example, right? Make sense? Then I found that Miss Prema class is actually better than Mr. Nathan class, right? Miss Prema told me just now. I was like, really? Okay, okay. Because now you get new things to distract you. You feel the new excitement from consuming another product because you've been consuming the same product for too long. Right? That is the law of DMU. Right? Whatever explanation that I gave yesterday in the answer guide is the formal explanation that you should write. The incremental is getting of the utility is getting lower and lower. Right? That is for UTIS and law of DMU. The next thing we cover together is the quantity supply and supply. Oh, by the way, this one is demand is refers to this one, right? quantity supply and supply. Quantity supply can be defined as, if I copy this, it's almost the same, right? Let me just copy this. Oh, this one is supply first. Then let me just define supply first, right? If I define supply first, if you can remember one definition, then it's good enough to do another one. Actually, basically, it's the same, right? The only difference is what? You change the consumers to producers, change the purchase to produce, right? Because we don't use the same word like your definition, like supplies, we don't use the word supply to produce one good at different prices. So this is the supply definition, right? Similarly for QS, right? For QS, it's similar to your QD. It still refers to one amount only, that's why it's n amount, right? This is QS, an amount of one good that now is not consumers, but the producers are willing and able to produce at only one price, right? That's the difference, okay? So they still have the same types of determinants almost, right? Before that, we go to the diagrams. Same thing, we will go to the diagram, right? So this is P and this is Q. And this is a supply curve for QS. And another one is supply. Supply is here. If I want to refer to the diagram, this is P and Q, right? Forgot to put my product name, right? Put product name first. Let's say buttocks. Buttocks for the demand. Forgot to put product name just now. Maybe your demand for buttocks, right? Please don't get me wrong, because I'm referring to chicken buttocks. I don't know what you're referring to because I refer to food, okay? If you scan your brain, maybe it's not black and white, maybe it's yellow, then it's another type of buttocks, right? Okay? This supply curve. So quantity supply is movement along. You need to show me if P0 increase to P1, quantity supply 0 will increase to QS1, or QS to QN refers to my same diagram like demand. If I use QS and QS1, right? If the price decrease, P1 decrease to P0, QS1 will decrease to QS because they are not willing to supply so much when the price is not good, right? As for the supply shift right and the supply shift to the left, right? Okay, there are many determinants as well. Okay, there are many determinants, but only one determinant for the quantity supply, which is the price of the good itself. Okay, and this one, determinants, we have a lot. We also have the same common determinants like the demand is price of the substitutes. We have price of the complements. If you ask me this one will count or not, I will tell you. Depends on which paper. If this paper come out, then this paper will not come out. The supply one. If the supply one come out, the demand one will not come out. So it depends on which paper you get. Right, okay. Price of the substitute, price of the complements. Same thing, they will ask you something related to supplements or substitutes or complements. Not supplements, sorry. Supplement is my new business. Substitutes and complements. So you have to decide the product is substitute or complement before you draw. Okay, similarly you have to draw two diagrams. Other than the price of substitute and complements, maybe they will ask you what are the determinants of supply or what are the determinants of demand. This can be a 3 marks question, right? So other than that, we have the cost of production. Okay, we have the number of suppliers. We have the technology advancement. We have the government policies. Government policies can be further break into two. Although we say chapter 3 will not come out, but government policy is still in chapter 2. You must at least know how to draw when there's a tax or there's a tax removal, and how to draw when there's a subsidies or when there's a subsidies removal, right? Maybe one case study will be government just remove the subsidies for diesel. What will happen to the diesel market? Do you know how to draw? Government just withdraw the diesel subsidy. Do you know? It's planning to remove the subsidy for petrol as well. Maybe this year, maybe next year, right? So do you know how to draw the market for the diesel? Right? We will talk about that during the market. Okay? So they will, if they ask you determinants of demand, they will not ask you determinants of supply. Right? This part, it will take around maybe 10% of your marks. 10% of marks. Right? The next thing we do together is the market first. Market is the market. Market can be defined as a platform, okay, where there is at least one buyer and one seller. Market equilibrium can be defined as a situation where there's no tendency to change. So if they ask you, define market equilibrium, it will be what? A situation where there's no tendency to change in a platform where there's at least one buyer and one seller. That's all. Does it make sense? Make sense? Okay, make sense? We can break it, we can also combine. But definition must always have only one sentence. No examples in definitions. Right? You can write this means what? Because you worried that your definition is not good enough. You can write one more sentence. This means what? But don't give examples. Giving examples shows that you don't have knowledge already. So you write examples in the first paragraph, normally in intro. Right? So we have the market, and we also have equilibrium together. This is the market. Right? I use what? Buttocks. This is the buttock markets. Right? Some people like to eat chicken buttocks. Yeah, true. Oh, some of you, anyone don't eat chicken buttocks? Sometimes you eat already also, you don't know, because they fry the chicken all together. Right? Okay. So this is a market. Right? This is a market. Will they ask you what is market equilibrium and explain market equilibrium? Maybe not. What I mean not will be what? For example, they will not ask you explain market equilibrium. Right? Like for example, then you have to write this. If the PE1 is the P1 is greater than PE, then what will happen? Okay, the price is too high for the consumers. The price is too high for the suppliers. Okay, price is too high for consumers. Quantity demanded will go down. Price is too high for suppliers. Suppliers like it, so quantity supply will increase. Right? This is what I mean. P1 greater than PE. QS will increase. QD will decrease. But this is not sustainable. When this is not sustainable, it will go back to, eventually, as a result, it will go back to equilibrium, market equilibrium. Right? Will they ask you if P2 is below PE? Maybe not, right? But I still share with you, if P2 is less than PE, QD will increase, QS will decrease. Because the price is too low, not profitable, it's also not sustainable. When it's not sustainable, it will eventually move the price and eventually move them to market equilibrium. This one maybe they will not come out, right? The next one chances are is going to come out is the shift of equilibrium, right? For the shift of equilibrium, we have 4 outcomes, right? We have demand increase. Demand increase shows that you need to draw this. Demand and supply and buttocks, right? You need to refer to the original equilibrium first before you move on to write the answer, right? Let's say the article asks about more and more Asian people like to eat chicken buttocks due to the fragrance of chicken buttocks after they fried the chicken buttocks. What is this? I know demand increase, but you have to link it to one reason first. When you know taste and preference, if you look at the list just now, taste and preferences, they're under demand. So that's why you have to write or draw demand, and you must draw demand increase, right? And it will result in chicken buttocks price increase and chicken buttocks quantity equilibrium increase. Makes sense, right? This is due to taste and preference. Of course, you have to decide yourself in your article, in your question, what is it about? What is the reason behind? Which one you should draw? This one is for demand increase. The next one is demand decrease. For demand decrease, same thing, draw demand and supply, then you draw the buttocks, write the buttocks, then you draw your equivalent price and quantity. After that, you have to decide Lisa ate chicken buttocks and lead to she vomit in the Chinatown when she shoot her MV, right? So what is this? You know Lisa recently shoot a video in Chinatown in Thailand, right? Okay, because she wanted to try chicken buttocks, but ended up vomit and found that the chicken buttocks has some worms on the buttocks. So what happened? Demand will decrease. This one maybe due to taste and preference, maybe due to some news advertisement saying this, right? So depends on what's the article about. So PE, QE, but regardless of taste and preference or advertisement, they are still under demand. So the demand will decrease. Make sense? Make sense? The next one is supply increase. For supply increase, when I think about the buttocks, you have to think about supply. Let's say remember I showed you yesterday the technology that breed chicken is lifeblood. Using lifeblood to hatch chicken, resulting in chicken buttocks has more poison. So they don't dare to use this technology anymore. So for this, it is related to technology, this improvement. So the supply will shift to the left, and this one PE1 increase. but at the same time, QE1 will decrease. The last one is supply decrease, right? Supply increase, this one. Yeah, I wrote this one is supply decrease. The last one is supply increase, right? Supply increase. So let's say this is PE and this is QE. Now they found that chicken eggs decrease in price. So leading to cost of breeding chicken decrease in price. What will happen? Supply increase. Why? Cost of production decrease. So supply will increase. And this will lead to PE to increase to PE, decrease to PE1 and QE to increase to QE1, like that, right? This one will be around 20% of your exam, right? Okay. Next one is elasticity. Right? Elasticity. So elasticity refers to a measure of responsiveness of one variable, okay, with respect to another, a change in percentage change in another variable, right? If we are referring to PED, it refers to a measure of responsiveness of what? With respect to. You all never read dictionary. Dictionary also write like that one, right? With respect to. Right? Don't you know? Do you know what's a dictionary? Yes. Wow. Okay. Okay. When I was young, I don't look at Google. I look at dictionary. Right? Okay. PD refers to what? A measure of responsiveness of quantity demanded with respect to the percentage change in the price of the good itself. What? Which one?
Changing
in another. Due to I don't have the luxury of time. Okay lah. Another. Ooh. Yeah. Another. Right? Variable. Okay. Elasticity. We haven't tested. So elasticity. You know lah. Okay. Will come out. I tell you first. So PED is a measure of. You write yourself a measure of. I copy lah. Copy easier. PED is a measure of responsiveness of quantity demanded with respect to. Let me put a dot there. Where's my dot? With respect to percentage change in price of the good itself. This is a very popular question, especially the determinants. Okay, but no worries, I'll still go through. So PED, normally what's the formula? The formula of PED is, as the definition suggests, the definition already give you the hint if you know how to interpret the definition. It's just the percentage of quantity demanded over percentage change in price. Make sense? Right? And throughout this percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change price, there are 5 values, but we only focus on 2. One is PED is greater than 1. Another one is PED is in between 1 and 0. Right? PED greater than 1 is very good for the consumers. We call this elastic. PED between 1 and 0 is not good for the consumers. We call this inelastic. Right? So we will go to the factors that affect them. Right? First factors, they are the type of good. Right? If it's elastic, the good must be luxury good. If it's inelastic, the good must be necessity. Second, we can talk about their income level. Ladies and gentlemen, please take note, income level is different from income in the definition of demand. Okay? But do you think your senior write wrongly before? Yes, a lot of times. So take note, a lot of times. Income level is what? High income group. Put here better. High income group, it can be inelastic, it can also be elastic. Low income group can also be inelastic or elastic. It depends on how you write. If you write according to textbook, high income group, they are inelastic. Textbook, I use this color. Textbook, I use this color. They're inelastic. All right. If you refer to link to substitutes, which is our next factor, it will be elastic. Substitute, I use this color. Let's say how many substitutes, right? Okay, substitutes, elastic, many substitutes, and very few substitutes. If you link high income group to your textbooks, then high income group, they are low income group to the textbook, low income group, they are elastic. Okay, if you link it to substitutes, low income group, they are inelastic because there are few substitutes, right? The next one is also income. It can be percentage of income. Hey, this question very popular. I'll tell you first. High chance to come out, in case you are wondering, right? Percentage of income is also similar to price of the goods, but I try not to write price of the goods, so I might make my price of good very small. Okay, in case you want to use it, but I don't encourage, so I make it very small for you. Okay, price of goods. So percentage of income, if it's high percentage of income of the good, all right, for the good, it is very elastic. If it's low percentage of your income, it will be inelastic. Okay. For example, Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin high percentage of income or low percentage of income? Huh? One Bitcoin is how much now? Around 290,000 ringgit. 290,000 to you is high income or low income now? So it's elastic. You're sensitive. Every day you must check the price if you want to buy. Right? If 290,000 ringgit to you, because you earn 1 million per day, is low income, a low percentage of their income, then it will be not sensitive to price. You can buy anytime, like you buy a chocolate or ice cream. That is low percentage. We also have time to consume. For time to consume, we have more time to consume. We have more time to find substitutes. When we have more time to find substitutes, we'll be elastic. If we have less time to consume, we have less time to find substitutes. So the substitute we find is very few. When the substitute we find is very few, it will be inelastic. Does it make sense? One more is what? Any other factors that affect PED? One more is habit, right? Not hobbit. Right, habit. Do you have the habit of eating junk food? Okay. Or the habit of eating healthily? Which type of habit you have? Are you a herbivore? Or you're a carnivore? Or you're omnivore? All these are different habits. Okay. Do you have the habit to make up before you come to my photo session later? Damn. Okay. Or you have the habit of using your real face to show people. Okay. Do you have the habit of using filter for your photo when you post in social media? Or you can use the one without a filter. All these are habit. It's not necessarily addicted, but it can be a habit. Does it make sense? Okay. So all this habit will result in, are you sensitive to that product? Okay. Like for Japan, every time they go out, they have to make up, especially for women, right? Regardless of they go for jungle trekking, they go for work, they go for LRT, okay? They use public transport, they have to make up. So for them, if Sephora increase the price, they will still go and buy. So they are inelastic, right? For Malaysia, they will blame the weather because the weather is too hot. So even we make up, it will melt. So, right. So this one has habit. We will be very sensitive to price. If Sephora increase the price, we will not buy. We would rather show our real face, regardless of your face looks like monster, or you looks like a handsome or pretty boy or girl. Okay, make sense? So there's no or less already has no habit, right? Together they form this, and the last one is the diagram. You must know the diagram. P and Q. Diagram for inelastic. Let's say just like this one. Make up. Elastic is like that, right? Inelastic is like that. You must be looking more like I, right? Right. The last thing before our break is PES, elasticity of supply, right? Elasticity of supply, similarly, I can use this definition and I can change it to my PES definition. Right? If I want to write this PES, it will be a measure of responsiveness of quantity supplied with respect to a percentage change in another variable. Oh, I shouldn't add another here, which is the price of the good itself. So there's no another. In here also no another, because just now I used another variable, right? Okay, in the price of the good itself. So now we look at the PES, right? PES. If PED come out, PES will not come out. If PES come out, PED will not come out. Depends on which paper you get, right? So I don't know which paper you get. Up to you. You want to study, you study. Don't study, also never mind. To be honest, do I look like I care? I care. Do I look like I don't care? No, I don't care. Depends. All right, okay. So PES formula. This is the PES formula. It's a percentage change of quantity supply over percentage change of price, right? So follow similar format. After the formula, we will talk about the values. Same thing, there are 5 values, right? The values, the rest of the values you can revise yourself, right? I will just focus on the main one, which is elastic and the inelastic. So since just now I read elastic first, I will follow PS greater than 1. It shows it's good. Good means elastic. PES between 0 and 1 is not good. Wait. Just now I put less. Oh, I put wrongly. Correct. 0 and 1. Less than. Okay, no, cannot. This one cannot. 0 and 1. Right? Right? If PES is between 0 and 1, it shows inelastic. Right? So now, same thing. We will go through the factors. What are the factors that affect elastic for PS? First one is capacity. So what's the capacity? If I still have capacity to produce, more capacity, I'm elastic. If I have less capacity, I'm inelastic, which means actually, if you refer back to the chapter 1, although it's not coming out, if you look at PPC, the country is producing inside the PPC, although it's inefficient, actually they have more capacity to produce. So actually they are more elastic, right? If you refer to the PPC on the curve itself, right, the points on the curve, they are really efficient. They don't have any capacity left. So they are actually less efficient, right? Tesla, all this data center, they want to build in Malaysia because Malaysia still have capacity. Even they want to build in Taiwan. Maybe Taiwan already have full capacity. They don't have land anymore. So they can build. Even they want to build. Maybe their technology is better. Something like that. Right? So this is capacity. Second one is what? For PS. Any idea? Expectation so fast. Okay lah. Expectation of future price. And this expectation is different from your I forgot to write supply determinants. Damn. Right? Did I write supply determinants just now? Forgot already. Oh yeah, I did. Right. Okay, cool. So expectation of future price is must be short-term increase or long-term increase. So if it's long-term increase, it will be elastic. If it's a short-term increase, it will be inelastic. Right? The next one is, yes, in consumers, in PED side is substitute availability. Right? Resources. If I have many resources to produce, I'm elastic. If I have less resources to produce, I'm inelastic. Okay, the next one is perishability, or the ability to store product. If I'm non-perishable products, I am elastic. If I'm perishable, I am inelastic. Okay, one more. What's the last one? Time to not consume. Time to produce. This one is the opposite of PED, right? If I need more time to produce, I am inelastic. If I have less time to produce, I just need 5 minutes to produce, I'm elastic, right? So same thing, I will draw the diagram, then we can have a break. After the break, maybe I will share you more tips. Maybe I will stop, depends on the attitude when you take your photo, okay? If you look at phone right now, I'm not going to share tips. for the chapter 4 and 5. Okay, take note. So for elastic, this one elastic, right? Elastic supply, we have to draw upward sloping, but looks like E, right? Just now I use what? Buttocks. Okay, buttocks cannot. Because buttock is perishable. Let me use marinated buttocks. See? You need to twist. Because what if the question asks you inelastic? Ask you elastic. Then the entire essay you wrote, go and write buttocks elastic. But when you draw wrongly. Then you add one more word lah. Marinated buttocks. Suddenly it becomes wow, non-perishable anymore. Cool, right? If it's inelastic buttocks, it's just fresh buttocks. Fresh one. Fresh chicken buttocks. A lot of people like to eat, right? Especially, not to say I'm racist. I cannot be racist to my own race, but especially Chinese. Okay. Anything I did not cover for chapter 2? I believe I covered most of it. Okay. The only thing I did not cover here is the expectation of future price here. Also for the supply. But the future price in the supply, expectation of future price in supply is different from the expectation of future price in PS, because PS also need to look at short term or long term. Okay, let's have a photo before we have a break. Then we will continue with chapter 4 and 5. Revision. If you choose to stay,